voice than it originally was. So the lawful captive would be one who ancestors or parents or whoever, or even themselves, dabbled in sorcery, right? As a result of it, whoever did the dabbling, that spirit was released in the bloodline as promised in the 10 Commandments, according to Exodus 20, verses 1 to 5. That's a promise. He says, when anyone who bow to any other god, serve any shrine or deity, anyone who worship any other god other than God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he says, I will visit the iniquity upon your children of the one who did it, and all the way down to the third and fourth generation. So this is where we get the generational curses, right? So watch this. So now that spirit that's in the bloodline is roaming the earth, looking to see whom they may devour. They're looking for a specific group. And who's the specific group again? The lawful captive, meaning that, yeah, they into the things of God. Yeah, there's a Christian background, but what they don't know is that members of this bloodline was into Freemason, into Eastern Star, into whatever secret society, witchcraft, voodoo, obel, whatever it is. As a result of that, that set the groundwork. This family now have no knowledge, period, okay? That some of them will become lawful captives, where the enemy, if they succumb to the fear, if they succumb to those things, they will become lawful captives. So let me break this baby down for you. Let me read the scripture first. So Isaiah 49 verse 24 to verse 25 says, shall the prey be taken from the mighty, or the lawful captives delivered? Verse 25. But thus said the Lord, even the captives of the mighty, even those whom Satan has grabbed and held them lawfully captive. This is the promise now. But thus said the Lord, even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. For I, meaning the Lord, for I will contend with him that contend with thee, and I will save thy children. I love it. I love it. God is promising everyone listening to me, if your child is going through mental issues and seeing spirits and demons and hearing voices, God has promised you, I will deliver. I will set free. I will release your child from spiritual captivity, even though they're lawfully captive. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. I say no Mickey Mouse church up in here. I'm trying to help you. Listen carefully, because we can tear this up tomorrow. This is just a precursor. I want you to hear the rules. I want you to, this ain't nothing I'm making up. This ain't my opinion. God has promised, but it didn't end there. The promise didn't end there. The promise did not end there. Let's see where else this promise is. Let's see where else this promise is, okay? So let's go here now to... Let's go to, where is it now? Where is it? Let's go to Proverbs. Here we go. Let's go to Proverbs 11, verse 21. Let's see if this promise is else. Because what we want if this is a principle, because we should see it somewhere else, right? Now, he just promised us here, watch this, in Isaiah 49, verse 25. But verse 24 says, shall the prey be taken from the mighty. In other words, what he's saying is that shall your child, which is under demonic powers of the enemy, your son, your daughter who's walking the streets naked, who's eating out of the garbage, your son or your daughter who's doing abnormal stuff, cursing and shouting and screaming and just going out of their mind and speaking a different language that they know nothing of. It says, shall your son or your daughter be taken from the mighty, or shall be taken from Satan, or the lawful captive be delivered? It's asking a question. Verse 25 gives the answer. It says, but thus said the Lord, even the captivities of the mighty shall be taken away. God says, I'm going to rescue your son. I'm going to rescue your daughter. Watch this what he says now. And the prey of the terrible, or the most evil spirit, shall be delivered. For I, meaning the Lord, for I will contend, I will challenge, I will oppose, I will resist with him that contended with thee, and I will save your children. Can we find this someplace else? Yes, we can. So let's go to Proverbs 11, verse 21. Proverbs 11, verse 21. It says, though hand join in hand, The wicked shall not go unpunished. Now let's put that aside because we don't want that part. We want part B. Listen, but the seed, oh, I love it, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Even though your child is a lawful captive by the enemy, even though your child has lost their mind, even though your child is on the brink of losing their mind, even though your child is about to commit suicide or cutting themselves or drinking themselves or being promiscuous because they're under demonic power, the Lord, not Kevin, the Lord said, he says, if you are righteous, he said, this is a promise, the seed of the righteous shall not be delivered. So in other words, what he's saying here, based on biblical rules, your child, you being the righteous, is guaranteed to be ripped from the mighty and be restored to who they originally were. I'm trying to help somebody. I'm trying to help you. We teaching up in this bad boy tonight. Ain't no game up in you. Ain't no sow seed for no miracle garbage. That's foolishness. And you need to get out of those places and get into the word and understand what the rules are. And that's what those places are keeping you from. You believe that this power I'm talking about, this delivering from the legal captive and all of this, no seed could do that. He's telling you, he's saying to you what's going to do it. But you are still hoodwinked and blind under these fools that you listen to. And week after week, year after year, there's no change in your life because you don't want to follow the rules. You don't want to follow the rules. So I've given you two scriptures where God himself says, listen, none of this is a surprise to me. And despite what you did, your ancestors did, your uncle, your auntie, whoever in the bloodline that has introduced this evil, that has marked your bloodline to be legal captives, not all of them. He says, God has made a promise because I knew this would have happened. And I will deliver, I will save, I will rescue them. But here's the unfortunate part. Many people have died under that oppression and never got delivered. You hear something even worse? They've been to many churches. They've been prayed for. They've been to every which way from a godly perspective. In fact, in some of them got so exhausted that they say, you know what? I think we need to go to the Sangoma. That's how bad it got. The church, not all, let me be clear. The churches, and many of you could attest to what I'm saying because I was once a victim of this. The church has become such a failure. Let me be clear again, not all of them. The church has become such a failure that the victim and those who can't take it no more to watch their son and their daughter suffer. You could imagine your son, okay, in minus degrees, walking naked down the street. Can you imagine your daughter, who you breastfed, who you put through school, who you put through college, who got a lawyer, doctor degree, is digging in someone's trash for something to eat because there's something on them that is forcing them to do it and they have no control, no self-will? Can you imagine that? And you take the child to the church, you take it to the pastor, you take it to the prophet and prophetess who could see everything but can't see what's going on with your child.
I would spend like 20 minutes trying to figure out how to